Hey, house guests, it's your girl Raqfamousstar. Okay, I just want to say before I start this, thanks for watching my recaps. It really makes me excited when I see, even though it's not, sorry, I keep shaking it. Even though it's not just like bundles and bundles of views, it's just like nice to know that someone is watching. Um, and if you guys have any thoughts, just comment below. I comment back. I'm not a jerk. So yeah, thanks. All right, so this is my recap for episode 22. And if you watched my last video, I must say that I kept my word. I didn't watch any of the spoilers. I didn't watch any the spoilers that I normally watch. Didn't look it up. I just stayed away. I mean, it didn't help the fact that I was busy and not just busy, but I was tired. And then all today, I felt like not nauseous, but like just I didn't have my air on during the day, which was I think it was a mistake. Um, and so I just was just didn't have the energy. Okay, so it left off with the start of the HOH competition, and this is when the past five house guests that were previously evicted were competing to get back in the house. So right at the start of the HOH competition, still everybody was on. And there was drama before the live show, and I'm pretty sure like Paul was blowing. I guess he was blowing up his game, but he was talking to James like I forgot what he even was talking about. But then Michelle tries to jump in, and he was like, "I wasn't talking to you." And he's like, "You think you can do whatever you want?" And she was like, "Just like you," da, 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 you know, like. And then I'm pretty sure he calls her. I don't even want to say it because I don't say this word because I feel like it's like very out of line. But he calls her like I think he calls her a cunt. I think because they blurted it out, and then he said you called me a. And I think if he would have said bitch, I'm pretty sure. Not that that's better, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have bleeped it out. Maybe they would have, but I don't know if she would have got offended. I don't know. I think he called her the c word. Well, because she then said he called me the blank word, and they didn't even put the letter up. And I feel like they would have at least put the B word up. Like, but then I was thinking like, well, why would he? She wouldn't have said the B word. Like, how old are we? 9, you know, like so. Natalie also tries to butt in, but I felt like that whole conversation was pointless. So I'm just gonna skip over it because I remember some of it, but then it was just like, you could be mentioning so many other things right now. Oh my gosh, my teeth look really white right now. Okay, anyways, see, I'm scatterbrains. Anyways, so during the HOH competition, they were probably like 15 minutes in, maybe 20. And then Davon realizes, I can't win this. She's looking over at Polly and Victor, who got like all the life left in them. And her and Zakia look at each other like, we can't do this. And they jump off. They grab hands and jump off the wall, and everyone's like, what the F? I don't know. And I am not gonna lie. I told my friend, I said I would be surprised if one of them won. But I knew they weren't going to. I knew it wasn't going to be Davon or Zakia. They just don't give me like fight to the finish. They just give me like, well, if I win, I win. Or if it happens to be easy for me. Like that one Davon when she had her arm up, I was just like, girl, I was surprised she lasted that long. And I think Zakia was in pretty far too. Um, but anyway, that was that. I forgot what competition was. It was like an HOH, but I don't know. So Devon and Zakia fall off first, and Corey falls off, but that doesn't matter because he's still in the house, so he just goes off to the side. And then Bridget falls off next, so she's out for sure. Then she just like, I don't know if they say anything to them or if they just like swim off to the side because they're bitter or because they want to go back in the house, they're not. Or if Big Brother says you can't say anything, just swim out, you know? It's probably the last one. Big Brother probably says if you fall off, Once you fall off, you can't say anything. I bet you know they're probably like, you can like, when they first got in the house, they're like, you can chum it up, but then once the competition starts, that's it. Like there's no more talking. Um, so Polly almost falls off. It was before the break. Polly almost falls off. I'm over here jump like my heart is about to. I'm just like, oh my god, he's about to fall off the wall because the competition, the wall, and they're holding on, and while it's going forward, Polly is on must be on his fingernails, right? He's on his fingernails, and he's just like, and I was just like, oh my god, here it goes, yes, 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 right? I'm about to just jump out my own skin, and so then he saves himself, and I'm like, oh god, dang, this is it. Now Victor gonna fall off, and so I'm over here during the whole break, like, just should I just look? Should I just look? Should I let myself know now? Because I don't want to be going through this whole 3.5 minutes or whatever it is, and then Victor fall off next, and Polly go back in the house. Like, I don't have time for any more bad news today. So I was like, you know what, just chill. So we come back from the break, and then Polly does the thing again, falls off. I said, ah! Ah! Oh my gosh, I don't even scream. Like, I can't scream on cue. If someone was like, well, if someone held a gun to my head, I probably could. But if I was in class and I was like, scream, I'd be like, ah, but when Polly fell off, I was jumping. I got up, made about 3 laps around my coffee table. I was just like, yes. I did not want Polly to go back in the house. We all know that if Polly would have went back in the house, it would have been a disaster. It would just give him the $500,000. Like, I don't know. I was just like, oh, thank God, right? So Victor is the last jury member on, so he's obviously going back in the house. There's still Paul, James, and Nicole still up on the wall. So Victor's going back in the house, but he's about to fall. I think Polly fell off at 48 minutes, and then Victor fell off right after that at 50, I think. So he held on just in time. And I did feel like Victor was going to win. When my friend texted me before, she's like, what do you think? And I was like, I think Polly's gonna win, go back in the house, and Polly's gonna win HOH. But I first typed in Victor going back in the house and Victor HOH because I felt like them two are more of like a I'm not gonna stop until I win type person. And I knew that they were going to give it everything they had. And so that's why I felt like Polly or Victor and that's why I wasn't surprised that they were the last two to go in the house. To go not to go in the house, to be in the competition. So Paul ends up falling off probably 4 minutes after. But then I don't know, maybe he couldn't bend down, but James and Nicole had squatted. So it wasn't as much pressure on their legs and on their forearms. And so when the wall had tilted, it wasn't just like a tilt. It was like a full on, Paul was looking like Michael Jackson, So Paul falls off, and then Nicole and James are up there, and they're they're hurting, but I think they had, some more fight left in them. They start making deals to keep each other safe, and they're whispering. They're not really being loud with it, but everybody knows what they're doing. And Nicole's argument is because she hasn't heard from her family in 72 days, and she wants to get a letter from her mom. I was just like, really, James? That's all it takes for you to throw the competition? I'm just like, it's not like it was Natalie up there, and Natalie wants to get a letter from her mom. That's it? You already don't trust her 100%. I was just like, I don't know. I really hope that bites you in the butt. Normally I say I hope it doesn't, but I just feel like you shouldn't have thrown it. So Nicole also said right after in her diary room Like she didn't say this out loud, but she was like, she doesn't know if she's going to honor the deal that she made with James and Natalie. Um, and after the competition, James is talking with Natalie and Michelle, and Michelle asks like, "So you made a deal up there? What was the deal about?" And he's like, "To keep you and Natalie safe, or to keep all three of us safe." And James is like, "Just to keep me and Natalie safe. Like I can't be up there, being like, deal for me, deal for her, deal for her, you know." And Meech was kind of like, "Well, he's gonna put Natalie first." Duh, like he's been doing all season, Michelle. When has he put you first? I was just like, girl, you should have recognized this weeks ago, years ago. You should have put up not Victor and Paul. Like, oh, she was stupid. So the whole last week was stupid. Oh, is that Fifth Harmony? Okay, let me see. Look, I'm like trying to multitask. I'm going to see them in a few weeks. I gotta like learn some of their songs. Anyways, um, so Natalie was pissed because James threw it, and that would have been his fourth wall comp win because he won the first three that he's competed in. I guess two on his season and one this season. Um, she was just pissed because he could have won that and he should have won that. And then she wouldn't have to be worried about being safe. Um, Paul and Victor are trying to team up with Nicori because they don't really have an option, and teaming up with Nicole and Corey gives them the numbers. Nicole and Corey are having major thoughts about working with Pictor. That's what I named them, Pictor. Now watch BB steal that too, because I noticed when I use like Jeanette and Nicori, and what was the other one? I used another one, and they just stole it. I I had some good nicknames this season, and they just stole them. So I hope they don't use Pictor. Anyways, so they're having major thoughts about neither working with Pictor or Jeanette. Nicole knows she wants Meech out, but is confused on who to put up next to her. I think I don't know. It kind of sucks when you make a deal to to that covers multiple people. Um, I don't think that's smart. I think it just should be the person that's still up there. I don't think it's fair, also, but whatever. I mean, maybe if I was in the position of like someone being able to save my butt, I'd be like, "Yeah, it's totally fair. Come on, you promised." But so the last BB care package was the BB Bribe, and it went to Corey. I'm not really a fan of Corey. I mean, it's not like I don't like him. I just don't. I like other people now more than him. Let's just say that. But it was only between everyone else was ineligible, except Corey, Paul, and Victor. Um, so it basically was Corey had $5,000 to bribe one person. I'm pretty sure it was one person. Um, and they had to follow through on whatever the bribe was. And if he didn't use it, then the money wouldn't go to anyone. It wasn't like if he didn't use it, he could keep it. And it was good up until the next HOH competition. So he could be making deals for the next HOH competition. He could be saying like, throw the next competition. Throw the HOH. That's like that's a good deal. Like at first I was confused on it, but I knew going into it I did want Paul or Victor to get it because I feel like they could use that for their advantage when making a deal with Corey and Nicole. So yeah, Natalie is worried about Nicole's noms because she thinks she's probably gonna get put up. James says not to worry because it'll plant seeds of doubt in Nicole's head. And then he also uses an analogy about like, it's like if we're in a relationship and I think you're cheating, I'm gonna go, well, let me just call her up and ask her. I don't know. His analogy was good. My explanation was not. But yeah, so basically, if she goes and asks Nicole like, what are her thoughts? Basically like they were supposed to trust him. So if she's questioning Nicole, it's showing that she doesn't trust her. Um, and Nicole's already like, I feel like that would have sent them over the edge. So James did a good job with like keeping Natalie away, um, and because she was already like second guessing them. And Nikori made a final deal with Paul and Victor, and I was kind of like, yes, yes. I do not like Nikori, but I like Paul and Victor, and anything to keep them safe. And I was down with Big Meech until she put my boy Paul up, and I can't believe I'm saying my boy. But I was cool with Meech until then. So Nicole and Paul and Victor and Corey come up with this plan to put Meech up and Paul up to save face with James and Natalie because she said she wouldn't put them up. But if one of them comes down, then she will put up. I think, I think she said she'll put up James or Natalie in their place. I can't remember. It was all happening so fast. Oh my god, what's going on? Okay, so that wraps it up because I want to press play. I don't even know who these people are. On the VMAs. It's like some man and some woman and they just grab each other's head. Anyways, that wraps it up for me. Thanks for watching and you're welcome. Bye.